Today we're going to go over some of the tips and tricks for the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. If there's other tips that you have that wasn't covered in this video, help others out by leaving that down in the comments below. So let's go ahead and get started. Probably one of the first things you'll notice is when you hold down the power button, the Google Assistant comes up, which is a nice option to have, but I prefer the power button to power on and off the phone. I would go into settings and start typing in power. You'll see inside settings, you've got press and hold for the assistant. Just uncheck that and then it should work as a normal power button. Then you have the option to power off, restart, or lock down the phone. Another feature that's really nice, let's say you're looking at your phone late at night and it's dark, you don't want to blind yourself from the screen brightness. Once you turn the screen brightness all the way down, there's also another button that you can add called extra dim. And it may not look like much on this video because of my bright lights, but it actually works really good when you're in a dark room. If you don't see that option, just hit the little pencil. You can just scroll down and find where it's located, then just hold and drag up to where you like it. Then you'll always have that shortcut up in the notification shade. Now, besides adding extra dim on there as one of the shortcuts, you'll notice there's a ton of other stuff you can add, like alarm, screencast, mic access, camera access, location, hotspot, color inversion, data saver, scan QR code, one-handed mode, color correction, sound amplifier, storage, recorder, focus mode, bedtime mode, live caption, calculator, sound notification, and live transcribe. I probably want to add all of them because it might be hard to find, but some of these I would definitely add, just to make it a little bit easier to get to, especially like dark theme, extra dim, stuff like that. One other thing that you can do in the gesture settings, you'll notice you have a lot of different stuff to choose from here. One is you can tap on the back of the phone. It's going to take a screenshot, but you can also access the digital assistant, play or pause media, see recent apps, show notifications, toggle flashlight, or you can even pick which app it's going to open. It even works if you have a case on. Then you can edit or share the screenshot right there. Besides that, you're also going to be able to quickly open the camera, flip camera for selfie, system navigation, tap to check phone, lift to check phone, flip to one-handed mode. You've just got a lot of different gestures to choose from. Now, one other feature that actually comes in pretty handy, if you just swipe and hold to bring up recent apps, you got two little shortcuts down here. One is screenshot, the other one is select, which makes it so you can highlight certain text on the screen, then you can copy, share. You can also translate that. Sometimes there's apps that doesn't let you select text very easily. Well, this feature lets you highlight pretty much any text on the screen, then you can copy, share, search, and do whatever with it. Sometimes I use it if someone leaves a comment in a different language, I can copy that and translate it to see what people are saying. Another cool feature on this phone is you have always on display. If you go into settings, under display, and then go into lock screen, if you scroll down here to where it says always show time and info, then when you have the screen off, it's always going to show the temperature, time, and the battery life down here at the bottom. Just a simple way to turn on the always on display. Also in display under lock screen, you can also add text on the lock screen. So then if somebody finds your phone, they'll see whose phone it is without having to unlock the phone. Hopefully the people are nice that find it and bring it back to you. Another nice feature is if you go to recent apps and then you just tap on the little icon up here, you got three different options. App info, split top, which is also split screen, but you can also pause the app as well. So then you can do two different things at once. Again, just some nice options to have. And then there's a little line in the middle. You can adjust how big each screen is, or you can just swipe all the way down or all the way up to make it just one app again. Another cool feature is inside the photo app, if you have a photo that's a little bit blurry, just tap on edit, you've got unblur. Just watch how clear this is. Obviously, depending on what kind of photo it is going to determine how good it does of getting rid of the blurriness. This example here, yeah, it works really good. The other setting I would do for video recording is go to more settings, then tap on where it says advanced. There's one thing I don't like on the Pixel phones where it says store videos efficiently. Sure, that might be the case. Unfortunately, if you would copy these files over to your computer, it could have a problem reading those files because they're HEVC format. If you just untoggle that, it makes it into an MP4 file, which most computers don't have any problems viewing those. So just for me, I just turn that off. Another feature on the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, which they also had on the Pixel 6 series, if you tap Edit, if you go over to Tools, you've got Magic Eraser, Unblur, and Portrait Blur. Tap on Magic Eraser and just try it out on some photos. I think you're going to be surprised at just how good it works. This one you may already know, but if you go into video, before you start recording, up here in the corner you've got several options such as flash, resolution, frames per second, 10-bit HDR, and speech enhancement. For me, I like to do 4K 60 frames per second, but not all of these options are available under that setting, so you may have to bring it back to 4K 30 frames per second if you're wanting to use 10-bit HDR or speech enhancement while video recording. Now let's say you want to change the wallpaper or the icon sizes. Pretty simple here. Just hold down on the home screen where there's a blank spot. You got a few different shortcuts there for the wallpapers. Or if you go into wallpaper and style, that's where you're going to have a ton of different options for the wallpaper itself. You can also change the accent colors. You got dark theme there as well. Now you've also got themed icons, which actually looks pretty good as long as you're using all Google apps here on the home screen. But the reason I'm not a huge fan of it, because as soon as you use a third-party app, it really sticks out like a sore thumb. Another thing you may want to do is go down to App Grid. Depending on which one you choose, it's going to make the icons either larger or smaller. If you want the icons a little larger, go with 4x4. If you want people to give you a funny look when they see your phone, go with 2x2. You'll also see you've got home settings. One feature you may want to use if you go into suggestions, you've got suggestions in app list and on the home screen. So then it's going to add either recent apps or apps that it thinks you're going to want to use right there on the home screen, so you don't always have to go and try to find them. Speaking of finding apps, sometimes you just want to swipe up and start typing out one of the apps that you want to find. Normally you just reach up here and then the keyboard comes up and then you can start typing for what you want to search for. If you tap the three little dots right here, it'll take you to preferences and then you can just toggle on always show keyboard. Then when you swipe up, the keyboard's right there. It just saves you an extra step. One other thing I would suggest for the keyboard, if you go into the settings, preferences, I would toggle on where it says number row. Then when you go to your apps, you have your keyboard up, plus all the numbers right there. Again, just makes searching a little bit easier, a little bit faster. One other thing you may want to do is go into settings under display. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see screen protector mode. If you toggle that on, it's going to increase touch sensitivity because sometimes if you have a screen protector on, it makes things a little bit harder and it makes the fingerprint scanner a little bit harder to use once you have the screen protector on. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.